Hey, welcome to lesson 1.8c, the associative property or the associative power. I'll have you set your paper up like this tonight. Review in the top left, video work in the top right. Don't forget to put that line between right above your to separate your pause problems and your ticket to the show problems. That really helps me out. 4 blocker in the bottom left, 1 through 12 bottom right. Let's go ahead and take 5 minutes on this review. I'll slide myself up so you can see the questions and see if you can get them all done. Not sure if you will. Okay, let's run through this order of operations one first. Well, you got to do the multiplication inside the parentheses first, so that becomes 12. Then you've got the exponent. 12 squared is 144. Now you've got 3 things to add together. You have to start over here on your left-hand side. First come, first serve on that, and that would be 2 plus 9 would be 11. You got 11 plus 144 is 155. You've got everything done in the top. You've got nothing to do in the bottom. 155 divided by 9 is 17 2/9. Were you able to figure that out? Yeah, it's a little bit different going from 155 divided by 9 and getting that 17 2/9 answer. That's the answer we want in middle school. All right, rewrite these using the distributive property. Up here you got 2 sets of parentheses. The 6 has been repeated or passed out or distributed, so we'll just put it out front. 6 times 13, there's my 6 times 13, minus 6 times 4. There's my 6 times 4. We're good. Here we have 1 set of parentheses, 10 times a quantity of 5 minus 2. We're going to go to 2 sets of parentheses, and I'm just going to write it this way, 10 times 5 minus 10 times 2. Very good. Dan brought a bag of dum-dums and distributed them equally amongst himself and 39 students. Each person received 5 dum-dums. Well, here's the dum-dums. We're dividing it by 40 because it's myself and 39 students, and they each got 5. There we go. So 5 dum-dums equals the dum-dums divided by 40. I know I flipped that. I did that on purpose to show you. You can put that d divided by 40 equals 5 or 5 equals d divided by 40. We've got to get used to working on both sides of the equal sign. All right, I'm done with my spiel. Why don't you go ahead and get your paper ready to do your pause problems and your ticket to the show. Short video tonight. Have fun. Hey Valley Middle, welcome back to another math video. Tonight we're going to be looking at the associative property. Before we do that, let's start off with a trivia question. What the heck is this guy saying? I think by the end of the evening, as bizarre a question as this is, you might have a guess. All right, officially tonight our target is I can use the associative property to rewrite expressions. I don't know what the associative property means. I don't even know what an associate is. All right, well here's what associates are. Associates are people that work together, like my little private law firm, Dudley and Associates. If you're looking for trouble, she can help you find it. We will help you get out of her mess. Associates are people who work together. Sometimes Miss Blank and I work together. Not very well, but we do. Sometimes Mr. Persons and Miss Blank work together. Not very well, but they do. Sometimes Mr. Persons and I work together. Whoops. And we do an amazing job. I think you get the idea. It's pick on Miss Blank a day. Associates are people that work together. But the important thing for you to remember is that we could group ourselves in different ways. Same thing with the associative property. You can group numbers in however you want when you have a string of multiples or a string of numbers that you're adding together. Take a look at this. 2 times 3 times 4, and you do the 2 times 3 first, or you can switch it and group and do the 3 times 4 first. It just doesn't matter. You're going to get the same answer. Here, 2 plus 3 plus 4. You could do 2 plus 3 first, or you could do 3 plus 4 first. They're going to be equal. It just doesn't matter how you group them. Take a look down here. Don't believe me? 3 plus 4 plus 5. Do this first. We've got 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. Now let's group the 4 and 5 first. 3 plus, well, 4 plus 5 is 9, so you have 3 plus 9, and that's 12. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Let's try it with multiplications. That's a little trickier. 3 times 4 is 12, right? 12 times 5 is 60. Now let's group 4 times 5 first. 4 times 5 is 20. 3 times 20 is 60. Go ahead and say it. It just doesn't matter. When you have a string of numbers that you're multiplying together or a string of numbers that you're adding together, the order, it just doesn't matter. All right. Let's try to remember the commutative property too. A quick review. Commutative property just said that 3 times 4 is equal to 4 times 3. We reversed the order. We moved the numbers. We didn't change the groupings because there aren't groupings, but we changed the order. The distributive property, remember, we took 3 times a quantity of 2 plus 3, and we broke that down. We distributed out that 3. 3 times 2 plus 3 times 3. Now you've got all three of these tricky properties. Let's take a look at it and see how easy it works together. We're going to rewrite this expression right here. 4 times 25 times 12. Now we're supposed to do 25 times 12 first, right? Okay, but I don't know what 25 times 12 is. So I'm going to rewrite that expression and do 4 times 25 first, because that's 100. And then 100 times 12 is going to be 1200. Now we don't have to evaluate, we just have to rewrite. But notice I moved the brackets. I'm rewriting it using the associative property. The associative property. Get that term down. Wait, let me see. Did I move the order? 4, 25, 12. 4, 25, 12. No, you don't change the order of the numbers. You just change the bracketing, the grouping. You're using the associative property. Let's take a look at one more. 7 times 20 times 5. Okay, let's think about this. I don't know what 7 times 20 times 5 is, but let me change the grouping around and maybe I can figure it out. 7 times 20 times 5. Well, 20 times 5 is 100. 7 times 100 is 700. So it helped me solve that by rewriting it. Let me check and make sure I just used the associative property. 725, 725. All I did was move the grouping, the brackets. Perfect. You've got the whole target right there. You give it a shot on this one here. Yeah, I know I put 4 digits, but just move the brackets. All right, let's see how you did. Now, there's a couple of different ways you could have done it, but if you were thinking about evaluating it, I would move the brackets and do 10 times 10 and get 100. Because then 7 times 7 is 49 times 100. I can do that, 4,900, right? Good. All right. Now, if you move the bracket someplace over here and did 7 times 7, you're still using the associative property as long as you didn't change the order. Look at 7, 7, 10, 10, 7, 7, 10, 10. All I did was move the brackets. That, in its purest sense, is the associative property. Okay. 3 quick ones. See if you can rewrite these using the associative property. Let's see how you did. 4 times 4 times 5. Well, I just moved the brackets. 4 times 4 times 5. Good. This one here, 10 times 10 times 12. Well, I moved the brackets. 10 times 10 times 12. And then this one here, again, instead of doing 13 times 5, I'm doing 5 times 2 first. Just makes the problems easier to solve, too. That's the whole point of using it. All right. There's always a yeah, but. Yeah, but my dad says that 7 times 7 times 10 times 10 can be written as 10 times 10 times 7 times 7. Dad's right. It can be written that way. Look at Dad moved the brackets, which is the associative property, and he moved the numbers, which is the commutative property or the commutative power. Okay, so you can use these two in combination, but when I quiz you, I'm just going to be asking you to do either the associative property or the commutative property. Associative property, move the brackets. All right, let's have you try your ticket to the show. 2 problems, go for it. Just rewrite them, evaluate them if you want to impress me. I'm pretty tough to impress, but yeah. All right, let's see. What is this guy saying right here? What? You haven't figured it out yet? Okay, let me just pause for a second, get the video open, and then I'll play it for you. See if you can guess what he's saying. Last second, did you guess?
Do you know that every Mohawk competitor has an electrocardiogram, blood and urine tests every 48 hours to see if there's any change in his physical condition? Do you know that they use the most sophisticated training methods from the Soviet Union, East and West Germany, and the newest Olympic power, Trinidad and Tobago? But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I tell you, it just doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. All right. It just doesn't matter. Thanks. Have a good night. Okay, hopefully you got your pause problems done and your ticket to the show. And we're back just for a quick review. The associative property just allows you to move the groupings when multiplying or adding a string of numbers. Take a look at these ones here. 2 times 3 times 4. It can just be 2 times 3 times 4. All I did is keep the order, move the brackets. A couple of them down here. 2 plus 5 plus 3. Move the brackets over to here. Equals 2 plus 5 plus 3. You notice 325, 325. Here the brackets are on 2 and 5. Here they're on 3 and 2. That's kind of the way I check to make sure I'm just using the associative property. You can use them together, but for the purpose of this quiz, we're just going to look at just purely the associative property. So I check to make sure the order is the same, 3, 2, 5, 3, 2, 5. The only thing that's changed is the groupings. Perfect. All right. Let's take a look at a couple of different situations here. This is kind of an interesting one. Here I've given 3 numbers, 6, 9, and 12. Here's the associative property of multiplication illustrated. 6 plus 9 plus 12 is equal to 6 plus 9 plus 12. See how they use the 3 digits given? They wrote 2 number sentences that illustrated it. Okay, here's another one. Associative property of multiplication. 11 times 5 times 3 equals 11 times 5 times 3. Take a look at 4, 8, and 2 up here. Could you illustrate the associative property of multiplication given those 3 numbers? Give it a second. You don't have to write it down. Well, 4 times 8 times 2, put the brackets here, or 4 times 8 times 2, put the brackets out front. Different grouping. How about this? 7, 4, and 13. Could you illustrate the associative property addition? There. Go ahead and give that a shot. Well, 7, 4, and 13. 7 plus 4 plus 13. You could do this first, or you could write it with the brackets on 7 plus 4 plus 13. Pretty simple stuff, right? Yeah, the brackets, it just doesn't matter the grouping when adding or multiplying a string of numbers together. Okay, let's go ahead and try a 4 blocker. Put this down on the bottom left of your paper. Go ahead and pause and do these 4 problems. I know there's more than one answer, but we'll just deal with it. Okay, see how you did. Well, here are the original problems. So I could take and move these brackets like right over here. That's really the only thing I can do. I can change the groupings there. 6 times 4 times 25. Well, I can just take and slide these over here. Down here it gets a little bit different because there's a couple of different things I could do. I could slide my brackets and put them over here. Or I could slide my brackets and put them over here. And do this first. Same thing here. I could slide them here. Or I could slide them over here. As long as I change the grouping, I'm just using the associative property. Okay? All right, time for you to do some independent practice, number 1 through 12. I'll make this a little bit bigger. I'll let you take a look at your answers. I'll do the first one with you. All you have to do, let me grab my highlighter here. All you have to do is choose the letter that best represents the associative property of multiplication, just like we did last night. So let's see, 5 times 9 times 2, 2 times 9 times 5. It can't be that one because the numbers are in different orders. Look at 5, 9, 2, and this is 2, 9, 5. That doesn't work. 5 times 9 times 2 is equal to 45 times. Here they're evaluating. It can't be that one. So 5 times 9 times 2 is 5 times 9 times 2. I think this is it, but let me just check the grouping. 5 times 9 times 2, 5 times 9 times 2. Let me check the order. 5, 9, 2, 5, 9, 2. This is it right here. You see how they've changed the grouping, but they haven't changed the order of the numbers. Okay, go ahead and try them for 2, 3, and 4. Put myself right in the middle so you can do those. Okay, scroll the screen down. You take a look at 6, 7, and 8. Okay, scroll the screen down so you can see 9 through 12. All right, so you should just have a string of numbers on your paper, letters on your paper. So here we go. Let's come on over here and I'll let you take a look at the numbers, the answers, see how you did, see if you found the right one. Get a little bit smaller, see if we can't get them, most of them on there. All right, there they all are, 1 through 12. C, A, B, C, A, C, C, D, B, C, D. Now, is this what it's going to look like on the test, Mr. Dudley? No, it's not going to look like this. Probably looks something like this test question here. Rewrite the following expression using the associative property. 4 times 4 times 1. Notice how I put 16 there right away. I evaluated. I'm trying to get you to choose that one. That's not right. I didn't ask you to evaluate. I asked you to rewrite. How about this one? No, I'm trying to get you to think about the distributive property. It's not the distributive property. Okay. This one would be wrong anyway, but how about this one here? Yeah, that's it. Notice once again, I just moved the brackets 4 times 4 here, 4 times 1 up here. 4, 4, 1, 4, 4, 1. I suggest you check for that order. It's pretty important. Okay, let's see. I think there was one more thing I wanted to do for you. Have you add in your notebook. Last night we started a list of 3 different vocabulary terms to put in. I don't ask you to write notes very often, but please add these 3 additional terms, and you could put an example if you want. So the associative property, you're just changing the placement of the brackets for multiplication and addition when you have a string of them together. Okay? The next one, the identity property of addition. Identity property addition just says that if you add 0 to something, it doesn't change. Oops, sorry, it doesn't change its identity. Sorry, clear that off. This guy's wrong. I don't know what I was thinking here. 5 plus 0 is 5. The identity doesn't change. 0 plus a negative 7 is negative 7. The identity doesn't change when you add 0 to something. There's the identity property of multiplication. That says that when you multiply something by 1, its identity doesn't change. 5 times 1 is 5. 1 times negative 7 is negative 7. The identity doesn't change. So, associative property, identity property of addition. Anything you add 0 to, it doesn't change its identity. Identity property of multiplication. Anytime you multiply something by 1, its identity doesn't change. All right, these 2 are lesser known properties. There's a 0 property of multiplication we did yesterday, but along with commutative property, distributive property, associative property, it's nice to just have them all, those properties, and understand all those things and know their names for them. All right, thanks for listening. Good luck in your quiz. Make sure you get this one uploaded. You've got all the stuff. Make sure you upload it to the video for, oops, wrong sheet. Upload to the video for a 1.8C. You got the whole sheet put together now. You do not need to upload your vocabulary terms. Thanks.